Good evening, students. Today we are going to continue with our third lesson of physics, that is measurement. I have done the introduction of physical quantities and measurement chapter 3 the previous day. Today I will teach you about how to do the measurement of length and measurement of mass. Now, length is defined as the straight line distance between 2 points. This is how you draw the lines, right? With your ruler, you take 2 points and then join these 2 points and measure it like 5 centimeters or 4 centimeters. This is how you do it in your maths class. And it is generally the SI unit of the standard unit of length is meter. Now you students see, as I said in the previous class, that measurement is comparison between comparison of an unknown quantity with a standard known quantity. So the standard for length is the standard meter, the standard meter of length is between 2 marks or 2 points on a platinum iridium bar kept at 0 degrees Celsius at the International Bureaus of Weights and Measures at Sèvres near Paris in France. Now, how a platinum iridium bar looks like. Do you see the picture over here? The picture which I have given. This is the picture of a platinum iridium bar, and the standard is the real one, the original one. The standard is kept in Paris. However, each and every country has got one replica or one of the copy of the original meter scale kept in Paris in International Bureau. And in India, it is kept in the National Physics Laboratory of Delhi. Okay. Now, some common devices which we all use at home or offices or in schools, that is actually built by comparing them with the one that is kept in National Physical Laboratory in Delhi. We use these devices like ruler, meter rod and measuring tape. So ruler is the commonly used device or instrument to measure the small distances like radius of a circle in geometry or length of your pencil box. Then we have got meter rod. Meter rod is one, it has got one standard length, that is 1 meter. That is 1 meter. Now, meter rod is used by the shopkeepers to measure the length of a cloth or a tailor. And then we have got the measuring tape. Measuring tape is flexible enough so we can measure the curved surfaces, right? So you see in the picture, this is a standard ruler which we use at school, and this is the ruler which you will find in the clothes shop, and the meter rod, and this is the measuring tape. All right. Now, students, there are certain things which you must keep in mind while doing the measurements with a ruler accurately. Okay. Now see, in due course of time, if when we use the ruler again and again, and we do not take care of it carefully, we do not use it, as the ruler becomes old, the edges becomes broken, it becomes chipped, means peeled off, scale end gulo bhenge jaye, chote jaye, chipped. So if we use such rulers for measurement, then we would definitely get an incorrect measurement. Accuracy would not be there. So it is always suggested that you start measuring the length from, not from the 0 point, just 1 point after, like from 1 to, you can see the picture here, the shoe is being measured from, the shoe is measured from the length of 6 and till 12. So you subtract it, it is 6 centimeters or 6 inches. This is inch scale, so inch long. Similarly, the envelope is measured like that, the torch is measured like that over here, and the note is measured over here like this. Okay, so this is the way we first avoid using the ends of the ruler. Next thing which we must keep in mind is place the ruler correctly. See, the line which you are measuring should be parallel. You see, it is parallel to the ruler, and it is nearest, closest. The object is closest to the ruler. This is the accurate way of measuring it. Next, position of your eye is so important. Your eye position is so important. Now you see the length of the pencil. When you are looking at the length from my left side, you are getting the length which is a little more than 12, that is 12.3 or 4. If you are looking at from my right side, then you see the length shows 11.5. However, if you are looking at perpendicularly straight line, the actual length is 12. So this is the correct position, perpendicularly. All right, see here, when you are looking from this side, 4.9 from 4.7. However, the actual length is 4.8. So you must keep an eye vertical to your horizontal scale. Next, we move on to the measurement of mass. Now, what is mass? We have already studied in previous lesson. What is mass? The amount of matter present in an object is its mass, and the SI unit of mass is kilogram. And there are other submultiples of kilograms like grams and milligrams. This you have done in mathematics number of times. And then there are certain multiples, that is more higher value of kilograms, that is quintal and metric tons. Now, the device that we use to measure a mass is a beam balance. Now, what is a beam balance? You see, beam balance is the simplest known instrument to measure mass. And to measure the mass with beam balance, we use standard weights. Okay, and in the beam balance, we place a mass of an object. How do we measure it? In a beam balance, the mass of an object is measured by comparing it with the similar mass weight. And these weights are called standard weights. Okay. Now, how a beam balance look? What are the main components of a beam balance? A beam balance has a straight rod, generally made up of iron. Okay, and in the middle it is suspended from an iron loop. Then we have got a pointer attached in the loop. Then we have got two pans made up of same material, same size, same weight, and they are suspended with strings. And remember, students, the length and mass of each and every string should be same. Now what you do? Let's see how we measure it. Look at this man. What he has done? He has placed certain amount of potatoes in one pan, and he is placing the weights like this sort of weights. this sort of weights in the other pan. In one pan he has placed the potatoes, in another pan he has placed a weight like this. Let's go back to the slide and see. See, he has placed potatoes on one of the pans, and on the other pan he has placed the weight. Now look at the pointer over here. It is standing straight, horizontal in the loop. And look at this iron rod.
Vertical.
It is straight. It is horizontal. It is parallel to the ground, and the pointer is just vertical, perpendicular to the rod. This is how the beam balance is used. Now, certain thing, if you want to make a beam balance, a few things which you must keep in mind are both the pans must be of equal weight. Okay. Second, both arms must be of equal length. That is, the length from here till here is equal to the length from here to here. These two lengths should be equal. Next, both pans must be suspended with strings of equal length and mass. All these strings are of equal length and equal mass. When the pans are empty, the beam should be horizontal and pointer vertical. See, these are empty pans. This is the standard kept in the International Bureau. So you see the two pans, it is empty, they are empty, so the beam is horizontal and the pointer is just the vertical. Okay, so this is what are few things we must keep in mind while using a beam balance. Now this is a traditional beam balance. There are now presently there are various beam balance which is used in our house and shops and all. You will see this kind of beam balance in the grocery shop or grocer's shop, and this type of beam balance you will see in the sweet shops. They weigh the paneer and all in this type of digital weighing machine. And this is another type of weighing machine, and in science lab, this is very accurate beam balance known as physical beam balance. This is used in a science lab. Physical beam balance, this is the one. So please go through this video. After this, solve module 3 today and solve module 4 tomorrow, and submit module 3 today and submit module 4 tomorrow. Take care, students. Stay safe, stay home. See you.